this article from Realtor.com ranked the top 10 best and top 10 worst states, best states and worst states for home building and affordability. And I like that they put home building and affordability together. Here's why. We've been talking for a number of months now about, well, what if they do new zoning? They loosen up the restrictions on certain zoning to make more federal land available to build. What if we help incentivize the builders to make more inventory? What are all those levers that have to be controlled or manipulated in order to create new product on the market? And this just comes right out with it, for better or for worse, man. There's some states that are killing it, and then there's the dogs on the list, which includes our own California. Let's see the grid here. A, B, C, D, E, F. F for California. So F for you, California. F on Rhode Island. F on Massachusetts. F on New York. F on Hawaii. F on Connecticut. F on Oregon. Wow, that's terrible. That's 7 of the bottom 10. They F's. Not even D minus, guys. I got a D in college once. That was terrible. But dude, 7 out of 10 got Fs. This is rough. You want to know about the D, don't you?
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, it was bad. You got a D. I'm like, I'm gonna just stay quiet. I'm not gonna tell my.
Really bad. Hey, I got a D in college. Oh my gosh, it was terrible.
I know.
So here's the deal, guys. What this report is saying that sorry, we almost went to the wrong one. What we're seeing here is that there's states that are really getting it right when it comes to letting builders build and helping people get into affordable housing. Now, generally speaking, every state's going to have differences in what they allow, what kind of property types, and there's going to be a larger segment that have single-family residences versus townhomes versus condos. But in general, there seems to be room for improvement everywhere across every metric because we have so much lack of housing. This is saying, I think we're 4 million short. I know we've been talking around the number of 6 in previous episodes. Yeah. This is saying like we're about 4 million short. That's still a ton. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So what I took from this article, and I think what people can apply if you're in the market, is if you're exploring to move out of state, South and Midwest is killing it as far as affordability. They're constantly building, or they're building more than other states. And therefore, if that's what you're looking for as far as affordability, those are going to be the areas here in the United States that's going to give you that best affordability chance. Now, on the flip side is it's also very highly crucial to understand the impact of zoning and zoning policies, because that's the reason why things are expensive in your certain city, certain municipality, because of the fact that those simple policies aren't able to be moved in the way that is going to benefit builders, people that want to buy in those areas. So understanding that, it's going to let you know right off the bat why your state is very expensive. So you see here in California, we're one of the most, scrutinized, one of the most regulated, one of the most, zoning policies out of maybe all states. So knowing that information, if you want to go through all those roadblocks, that information is available to you. And I really like how they categorize it in A, B, C, D, because that's how everyday people learn,
And F.
If it's an F, that's bad, So I think utilizing this information, if you're unaware of what states outside of your state look like, this is going to give you a really good reference point to see if that's something that you want to, explore in another state.
No, that's pretty cool because, even though I'm here, I flunk math and I flunk a lot of other stuff, I want to stay out of the flunking state too. Exactly. But unfortunately, I'm here to stay for a long period of time. The cool thing about it is, for a lot of other people that don't understand the whole A's and B's, always A, stick with an A, does good things. And this actually will put you in that best state, right? So I love that South Carolina was one of the highest ranking ones. Texas is right there. I didn't think about that, but they do have a lot of land. And you do hear that their zoning laws and restrictions are not that restrictive, and they do offer a lot more incentives for builders to be able to build, And so I actually have a contractor friend out there, and he's like, man, I can build a house like in 3-4 months. I'm like, wow, here it takes you 2 years.
That's crazy.
It feels like 3-4 years.
Like he's like, we can build quick. So that gives me an understanding and a clearer view as to why it's in the A,
Yeah.
So it is pretty cool. We do need to change that so that we can make things a lot more affordable, because you can go to Texas, buy a very nice home between $300,000 to $500,000. Which is phenomenal,
Yeah. Can I say something about Texas?
Absolutely.
So one of the things when I was reading this, I was like, holy crap, that's crazy. So Texas accounted for 15.3% of the national residential construction permits last year. So mathematically, we have 50 states. So if they all had the same, then we'd have every state would have 2%. Texas has 15% of the entire permits for the entire nation. And so then like the next, and I think the next in line was like 9% or something like that. There was like a 6% percentage gap from Texas's amount of permits filed to the number 2 state permits filed.
That's
so
a lot.
like they're just over there. They're just like this juggernaut right now
build.
for building. But hey, guess what? They have the demand too. Like people are going for a variety of reasons. But you've seen big industry go there too. How many big companies left California in 21, 2, 3, or 4 and went to Texas? Like relocated their entire employee base to Texas.
Definitely growing. So, we do see that growth over there. I had the client that we actually signed the final loan docs on Friday. She's traveling back to San Diego, and she took a road trip and is going through Dallas. And she's like, I don't remember seeing it like this. It is crazy. Traffic and everything is just, it's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Same. We back in October when Jen and I got stuck in Dallas overnight. The next morning we're driving like to the airport super early in the morning. One of our clients who lives out there now took me to the airport. One of our friends, Jesse, and at like 5:30 in the morning, the freeway was jam packed. And they had just moved there not too long earlier, and so for a San Diegan to go to Dallas, like actually this isn't that bad. I'm like, but it wasn't this way. Like a while ago, it wasn't this way. And then I was most recently in Houston, same thing. To go like 20 miles in the morning from like the little suburb we were staying at off site to get to the conference center, it took us 45 minutes to go 19.8 miles. And it's like, oh, this is some San Diego type traffic we got going on right now. So
LA.
So it's happening.
The good thing about this being that it's in these areas, it makes things affordable. It makes it where the median income will allow that person to purchase a home, which is the beauty of it. So I applaud them. I applaud these states that are looking out for the people who are their residents that are in that state. Yeah.
No, I like this a lot. And look, I hate being the bottom of the barrel. Like I hate that California, because California is so wonderful, right? There's so many things about our state that I really love, and I like so many aspects of it. But at the same time, it's like, man, it is punishing working it out. If you're not like making it, right, it can be punishing. And I know there's a lot of people that are trying to make it here or so close to making it or are making it all, but they really aspire to. Like there's a way to make your way through all this regardless of the state's grade of F, okay?
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
Just think you could be in another F state. Like, I'm going to talk trash real quick. No. You could be in Oregon. Sorry, Oregon. I think Oregon's beautiful. Yeah. I'm just picking on you. Sorry, Oregonians listening.
So here in the medium, I wanted to share this. The medium list price in Iowa is $294,600. I wanted to just see, what do you get there? Like, what can you buy in that price?
A Lamborghini Urus.
Right? Well, that's that.
That's the same price, right?
Yeah. So what I ended up doing is I calculated something at 6.625 interest rate with 5% down, which is $14,720 down payment. The estimated payment was $1,790.82. How crazy is that?
That's actually lower than the Urus payment.
Yeah, no, I was definitely.
And you can't live in the Urus.
Hey, I'm stuck on the Lamborghini.
Yeah, and then
Lamborghini still makes more sense.
And so what's crazy about that is the home size too. You can get that, depending on where you're at. Again, you brought up a good point earlier, Brian. It just depends where you're at, but you can get anywhere from a 3 to 4 bedroom, 2 to 3 bath, and the square footage is from 1,100 to 1,900 square feet, more or less.
That's good. No, that's really good.
That's not bad, because when I bought my first home here in San Diego, it was a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,500 and change square feet, and that was out for $242,000.
Did you say 242?
242. And we're talking about 25 years ago.
Yeah, I know. That's nuts, man.
That's
nuts.
So
that's a good example.
Also, since we're in examples, I did another one, because here we go, South Carolina.
I'm just going to leave. You just take over the show. Go.
That's it. That's what I'm doing. And so this one was for $354,429. That's the medium sales price. And check this out. So at 6.625, I used the same interest rate, 5% down, conventional, right? That's $17,722. And that's the down payment. And when I'm talking about 6.625 and I'm including the payment, that's just principal and interest. No taxes, no insurance, nothing like that. Just principal and interest.
Thank you for clarifying that.
The payment was $2,155.97.
Wow.
But check this out, the house. 3 to 5 bedrooms. And then it was 2 to 3 bedrooms. 3 to 5 bedrooms, 2 to 3 baths, 1,500 to 2,700 square feet.
Dude, that's a real good size house. For $2,100 a month?
That's it.
Yeah, I'll take 2.
I feel what people could take from this is that if you know that you're in California and maybe, you want to get into a house and, you have to have that real talk with yourself and say, well, maybe, it's not going to work out in California. There is options outside of California. Now, it doesn't mean you forever have to leave, but there is affordability in other places that, that are going to give you a better opportunity to save up some more money and then be able to utilize that as a vehicle, then come back to the, to the state that you want to live in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, this is, as much as like it hurts to hear the bottom of the list stuff. I'm optimistic about some of the stuff changing because of the pressures that are happening. Economically, part of that, policy wise is the other. And again, remember, and they didn't bring it up in here, but we've talked about it before. Like these housing agencies, they are tasked with coming up with solutions about inventory and affordability.
Yeah.
So if whether they like it or not, there's going to be continued pressure until the dam breaks, as they say, and we actually have both those things accomplished. I don't see the ego of our current administration having it another way, if I could put it that way. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect
sense.
So
I think it's going to get better, even if economically things are wobbly for a little bit because of the tariffs and all that other stuff. I think that because of the pressure point put on and kind of they're charged with, I think they have to come through. I don't think they have an option not to come through.
Absolutely.
And go back to what I said a while ago. If housing and related industries are the largest sector of the economy, they have no other choice. Yeah. They absolutely must. So I'm confident about that.
Yeah.